So in our last class, we were looking into the uh, several. Okay, so in our last class, we were looking into the uh, several performance improvement tools, like performance trace tools, not improvement tools, performance trace tools. So indirectly, that is going to improve the performance. We can trace the performance with the help of ST05. This is a SQL trace. SC30 or SAT is the SQL trace plus ABAP trace. SAT is the replacement of SC30. We came to know that this is a new transaction for SC30. Just interface got changed, and everything together has been bundled into the ST12. For the fresher point of view, this topic is not important, but this will help you to understand, means once you start working in the project in real time. Okay, or maybe if in they are going to ask some question related with performance, and at that time if we are going to tell about this ST05, SC30, SAT, ST12, then certainly your interviewer will be more convinced and impressed. Okay, fine. So ST12 one is a very important one. We have seen yesterday in detail. Today we will give some more 5 to 10 minutes on this topic, and we'll try to understand the another aspect of ST12. Just we have seen the single aspect of ST12 in the user mode. If we're going to run in the user mode, how it's going to work, that we have seen, right? So let's go once again into ST12, and another option we would try to explore. So I'm going into ST12. This is the ST12 transaction, right? Trace for user or task. Yesterday we have seen that if we have to trace for a particular user, we can give the user and we can click on this start trace. Once we again come back, we can end the trace, and here you have to click on the full screen. Here it will be little difficult to navigate, so better to go into the full screen. There you will be able to see the multiple option. It's easy to navigate over here. ABAP trace, performance trace, SQL trace, summary. So everything there here is present. The combination, all the combination of the transaction here we can explore, and we can look one by one. Okay, so user tasks. Another important one is the current mode. Okay, work process generally we don't go. Schedule we go. Current mode is the important one. Okay, why this current mode is important? The reason behind, I would like to tell you over here. Suppose if we are going to give the ABAP HANA 03, this is my user ID for this particular system. Okay, if you come over, you can see that ABAP HANA 03 is my user ID. So if I put the trace on my user ID, if I am going to enter a username for the trace, okay, here actually we have to put the username. Okay, and here we'll have to give some description or comment. Okay, so if you click on the start trace, it is giving some option, and here in this option, ABAP trace started SQL NQ RFC trace started. Okay, so now what will happen? Whatever you are going to do with your ID, everything is going to get captured, right? Yesterday we have seen everything, it will capture. Now I want whatever I do that should not capture, only it should capture which is irrelevant to me. It should capture only the current mode transactions. What is the meaning of current mode? Means if you click on this particular current mode, here first you end traces and collect the previous one. I'm just going to cancel this one. So I have end and collected the previous trace. Now going to the current mode. The benefit of the current mode, what will happen, that from here itself, whatever program or transaction you want to trace, you can give. Okay, so for example, if you want to trace some transaction MM03, how it's going to behave, or MM02, okay, or some program which we have developed, right, /o SE38, and we'll copy some program name. Suppose if you want to analyze this particular program name, you can just give the name of the program over here in the current mode. Click on this execute or trace, start trace. Once you click on this execute or start trace, you can see that it has given the output directly, right? And just I have came back. So trace finishes async trace collected and started, right? Here you don't have to end the trace, nothing like that. Just I have came back, everything got completed automatically. The benefit of this, what will happen that, okay, benefit here you can come to the full screen and here you can see that this is a trace. If you want to analyze, you can analyze. Benefit of this, again I'm going to start this and this has come. Now if we're going to open some another transaction, AC38 or whatever you want to do, right, it will not capture all these things. Other things it will not capture. It will capture only the current mode. It will capture only the current transaction. So that's the benefit of this current mode. So mostly people would be using for this most of the time, 90% time, 90% time current mode, then the 10% time user or tasks. Then here, you know, or we can tell something like this, you can put 80% time, this 10% time, and this is for 10% time, 80, 10, 10. This is I have not used. Sometimes you may require at the very advanced level if you want to capture the process, means if you want to capture the activity of a particular work process, then you can go for that particular case. Okay, fine. So now what we will do that, so these two modes we have seen. Schedule, if you want to schedule some particular job to get traced, you can give the job name over here, which user is running that job you can give. So all other options are available over here for background job, for work processes, if you want to schedule, for the user also if you want to schedule, right? So the multiple options are here. You can go and you can explore this one. The important one is the current mode and the user tasks. Okay, if you know this much, most of the work you are going to complete. Okay, schedule is also easy. This work process is also easy, right? Based upon your requirement, you can do. It's a easy user interface. If you face any doubt, you can ask anytime after this course as well. Okay, fine. This now there is a more transaction called STAD, right? /n STAD. What is this STAD? Mainly this transaction is going to be used by the basis people if they want to observe the overall system performance. It's not specific to some program or something like that. If you want to, you know, if you want to suppose for last 1 month how your system has been performing, you can check over here. Okay, if you want to check about some particular program for last 10 days or all your JET program, how it has been doing since last 10 days. So what you can do that, your date is right 14/7. This is the current date it is showing. Client, user, transaction, program, task type, all these things is fine. Okay, just if you run it, so how to run, server selection and everything is fine, correct? Press F8 or press F8, that's fine. Once you press F8, you come to this screen, and here you can see that you have the different, you know, this is the application server, right? This is the transaction which I have run for the today's date, right? Because I have used over what? For the today's date I have used. So for today's date, ST12 times 3 times I have run. So it is telling about for this particular program 3 times ST12 I have run. If you want to capture, you know, 10 days back, so 14 minus 10, it will be 04, right? So for 10 days, what are the G program you have run, it will give you the overall idea over here, right? So let me do one thing, just go back once again. I will go back, cancel this one, once again go to the STAD, Generally, we don't use this transaction more. I have never used this one, but this is one of the tool to analyze the workload analysis. Okay, press enter. Once you press enter, why it's showing like this? Let me check. Okay, 47 actually it is taking, so that's the problem. Just go back. /n std once again. I'm trying to go 14.7. Length is, yeah, here the length is telling, right? The length is telling day, hour, and it's a minute. So here the current date is there, 10 days back and 10 days after I want to analyze, right? So 10 days back or 10 days after, if you want to analyze, just give 10 over here, that's it. Okay, so if you give 10 over there and just press enter, it will take the 10 days previous, okay, and it will show you. So here let me check if some date field is there or not, so it will be easy for us to identify which particular date it is considering. Okay, so the layout option, selection fields, let's go and check. Wait time, time in response, load time, processing time, RFC, so many different options we are having, right? When it was executed, no problem. But here you can see that these are the multiple. Let me go once again, and I will give the jet program only. Okay, give the jet program, click on this OK button. So since last 10 days, no, it is not like that, right? In last 10 days we have run multiple times this particular jet program, many times we have run. So just I'm trying to find the way how we can identify over here. Include statistics, server selection, this is fine. Include application statistics, response time, user, transaction, program. This is for the length, right? Press F1, just I want to see its description. In the business transaction analysis, you can specify a time period of your choice for which the statistical data is to be read. The analysis begins at the time defined by start date and the start time. The read time field defines the interval size. Okay, when searching for a given statistical record, note the statistical records are always written by the kernel at the end of his dialog steps. The data is therefore sorted chronologically by end time. If you want to find a given statistical record, the read interval needs to be aligned to the end time of the transaction step. Okay, what I know about this provides the interval. Okay, but I'm not able to see anything. This time is taking the current time, right? For example, if I'm going to get the 0000, okay, and press enter, here also it's taking only for the today's one. I want to get the 10 days back, for example, total 10 days time I want to get. I'm looking for that particular option. That is possible with the help of this transaction. That's why its name is SAP Workload Analysis. Okay, so I'm looking for that option. Time is fine, the length is okay, 10 days back, or suppose if I'm going to take the 30 days back. Okay, permitted value range, so it is not permitted up to 30. Is it for hours? It looks like this is for hours. Let me check once again. If I'm going to give 25, no, so it looks like hours, it is not for days. I need to check this one how it's working. But what I'm trying to find out over here, that suppose for last 10 days I want to find it. So all is that sorted by time. So all so business transaction dots includes application statistics. search. Okay, I will check this one. Let's keep this on hold. I'm not able to remember how to use it properly. But another transaction we have more, again that is going to be mainly used by basis, but sometimes we also use STAD, rarely used by the ABAP, very rarely. But this ST04 or ST03, we are having another transaction for the performance analysis, ST04 and ST05. Here you will see the another thing. Suppose if you want to do some native SQL query, so you can go to this SQL editor and you can write the native SQL. So I'm having the HANA database, select a star from, so HANA database specific query, you can write it over here. Select a star from Mara, okay, and just press enter, press F8, and here it will get all the data from the Mara table. Because this is a native SQL, it is getting the data from all the client. You can see the client 000 is there, right? But the current client which we are having here is the 800 client, right? So we know that if you are going to use the native SQL, you will have there, right? But the current client which we are having here is the 800 client, right? So we know that if you are going to use the native SQL, you will there, right? But the current client which we are having here is the 800 client, right? So we know that if you are going to use the native SQL, you will there, right? But the current client which we are having here is the 800 client, right? So we know that if you are going to use the native SQL, you will SQL, you will have to handle the client specifically. Okay, so mandate equal to 800 from the current client. If you want to get the data, you can give it. You will get the 800 client only the data. So here generally, if you don't have the HANA Studio or something like that, and if you just want to see how your what data you are having in the database layer, just directly you want to put the select query on the database layer, you can use the ST04 SQL editor tool over here. You can go and you can give this statement, whatever select query. Native SQL you will have to give. Open SQL will not work over here. For example, the Open SQL, you know that if you want to get the Mara, right, MATNR, this will not work over here because this column selector is not supported by the native SQL. It will give you the error. You can see the SQL syntax error near this. Okay, in the native SQL, dot is supported. Okay, let's try with the dot. With the dot, you can see that it is giving the data. So in the HANA native SQL, dot is supported. So this is the native SQL, native language. Okay. Execution trace, if you want to see for a particular select statement, right, how the execution trace is there. So select star from Mara, how your uh, SQL is going to be executed. In that case, this will give you an idea. You can download it somewhere in desktop, maybe xml.plb file. Okay, just save it. It's already there. Okay, and if you go and you can check here what we have given, that this is right click, go into this edit with notepad plus plus or simply edit with notepad. Okay, you will see the various options over here. Okay, and if you try to analyze it, for example, how your SQL trace has for the plan ID, you can see the system version. This is the metadata information. Metadata means data about data. Okay, and here the statement C data. So it is little up to advanced level. Like you should know how to trace a particular SQL, and if we have the better idea, maybe we'll be able to understand it better. Okay, what are the and what are the other things? So analyzing here is quite difficult, but we have another tool as well. For example, this explain. Okay, and if you want to explain some particular select star from Mara, just I'm using this one. So how this query is going to work, how this query is going to work, that you will be able to it will just explain it. So here click on this explain button. Okay, and whatever you have given in the select star from Mara, see whatever the field you are having in the Mara, MANDT field, MATNR, ERSTA, ERNAM, LAEDA, all these are the fields. Star means all these fields is going to take from the Mara table. That's why we are not recommended to use the select star, because it's going to it's going to take all the fields. What it's explaining, it's a column table, right? It's a column table, and the table is the Mara. So this tool also you can use for your purpose, okay, for understanding the explanation. However, explanation and everything you can get from ST12 directly, okay, directly you can get from the ST12. So generally this ST03, ST04, ST80 generally we get from the central place ST12 or ST05 there itself, right? You can come over in ST12 and go to the SQL trace summary, click on this SQL trace summary, and if you want to explain something, some SQL, directly you can click on this explain. It will call that particular things only. This is the same thing what we have seen. Okay, and this will give you the better picture over here. Select a star from this is some table. So let's take our table from the G table, and I will try to make one stand over there. I'm looking for our table on which we have put the select query. Okay, this is test. Remove this test. 5 J demo. This is fine. This is the same. It's okay. We can use it over here, and here put the filter on jet program, and here this perform, and all we are having perform face data Mara and append, right? Double click on this. It's giving this one. No, sorry. I will have to go to the performance test or SQL test summary. Okay, click on the SQL test summary, and Mara table we are using. We know the fact that Mara table we are using. Either we can sort it, we can put the filter on the Mara table. Okay, so this is the Mara table. We are having FDA is enabled. That's why the FDA is coming over here. Double click over here, and here the explain is coming, right? Click on this explain. Select first. First you'll have to select, then click on this explain. So now it is telling about the select query on which we have put the select, right? So a Matner, MTAT, MBRSH, NTGW in our program we are using, right? If you want to see the execution test, same as there, this also you can download. There also we have downloaded the same. You can download from here as well, right? The graphical explanation also you can see how the graphically, the select query has been taken place. Say DBA cockpit it is opening, right? So DBA cockpit is also one another transaction, right? Here you can see that this is the graphically it is. If you go to the explain query plan, if you click, and here you have the detail option, overview option, so it will also come into the graphical mode. Okay, statements, this is the statement, right? Then access plan, you can check. Overview, it's not opening. Why? Export HTML, some problem is there, I don't know. It should open actually. Yeah, so detail, it's taking some time, but it's opening. Details, the detail you can see the overview. If you want to see the overview also, it will come after some time. Export plus HTML, toggle details, but generally we don't go for all the detail and all. It is not required. Here itself this much will be the sufficient. Okay, you can explore, so many things will be there. Okay, but the important things, the overall idea will get how the query is going to get executed at the database layer if you want to analyze, right? So select up to 20 rows we have written in the program. So limit 20 it is giving over here with range restriction current, right? The current, this is the native SQL. This is the native SQL. Okay, this is the native SQL you have. You can directly put this SQL and it should run. Okay, if we're going to put this SQL on ST04, it should run. Okay, so if you don't have HANA Studio and all these things, you can go to this diagnostics, you can go to this SQL editor, directly you can paste it and just press F8. Okay, and you can see that it is running, right? It's running. Here the value at runtime you can provide some value. Select the star FTM at night, it is asking some value. I don't know for what it's asking the value. Okay, but once let's suppose I'm providing some value. So successfully executed, but the result is not perfect. The reason behind the value which I have given, that is not the correct value, right? But this is what the native SQL is getting executed at the database layer, the query which we have written over there. Okay, fine. So by this way we can analyze up to higher level. Let's go and check what's the another topic we are having. One more transaction, DBA cockpit. I will quickly show you DBA cockpit. DBA cockpit. This is also something here. Also you can put the the native SQL. Okay, ST04 property is also there. You can see how many database connections are there. Okay, you can see how many database connections are there. I think you'll have to go to configuration, and here by default it's showing, right, SAP HANA database this. So by default that screen is there where you can see that which database is connected with this particular system. Generally we go to system and click on this status, and from here we can also see which database we are connecting with currently. But here if you suppose your system is connected with multiple database, some secondary database as well, here you can come and you can check. It will be listed 2 or 3 database over here. Okay, so like that you can use this DBA cockpit. Okay, so DBA cockpit, all this hopefully you understood a little bit at least. So the ST04, then STAD. STAD is for the workload analysis. I will check how to get the 10 days back data or something like that, workload analysis, or it will give only the current date. Okay, I will check and I will confirm. ST03, this ST03 is this ST03, ST04, right? And then DBA cockpit. So these are another important transaction generally used by the basis people. Okay, generally used by the basis people. We required very rarely, but you can go and you can try exploring this one. If you are getting some question in the interview, and if you are going to give the name of this transaction, that this can also be used for the performance stress, it will put a nice impression on the interviewer. So learning this transaction is, at least knowing about this transaction is good idea. Okay, fine. So let me go and open the syllabus and we will see. Okay, so in the next syllabus I remember that what we have to cover, file operation. The next topic is the file operation. So no need of going to the syllabus, directly we will start for the file operation. Okay, file operation is important topic and interesting topic. As a mapper we'll try to understand what is this file operation. File operation is mainly divided into 2 parts. Okay, file operation is mainly divided into 2 parts: presentation server file operation and application server file operation. Okay, presentation server file operation and application server file presentation server file operation and application server file operation. What is the presentation server and what is the application server? You know already, right? Presentation server is nothing but my laptop through which I am connected with this SAP GUI, right? This is my presentation server. My current laptop is my presentation server for me, in layman term, right? In the layman term, that is the presentation server. Now what is application server? Application server also, you know what is the application server. Application server is nothing but the server through which your system is connected, your SAP GUI is connected, right? So suppose on application server, if you want to store some file, right? If you want to store some file on the application server, okay, you want to write some data on the application server. On presentation server it's easy how to download the data and all. SAP has given some ready-made function module. We can use that ready-made function module, and with the help of that ready-made function module we can download the file on the presentation server. So presentation server file operation is easy and easy to understand, but the application server file operation is little tricky. This presentation server file operation we will learn this also in the VDC. Once we will start the VDC, and where we will have to upload some file from our presentation server to program, then we will see that what are the different function module we are having. There we will discuss in detail. This application server, we will try to understand on directly if you want to, load directly if you want to load some file. Let me give you some quick glimpse about this presentation server so that it will be easy for you to understand. Okay, it will be better in the situation to relate. Let's go to AC38 and we'll create one quick program 41, the program number 42. Presentation server file operation demo. Okay, so suppose I want to download some file. So if I want to download some file, what will happen, that SAP has given the function module, right? We'll use the function module, select matner, mtart, MATKL, these three fields only, give the comma. I'm going to use the new open SQL, okay, into table @ and data IT underscore Mara. Okay, and this file I want to, whatever the data is there, this file I want to download my presentation server on my desktop. I want to download. Okay, so there is a function module GUI underscore upload. This is very easy to use. That's why I'm just going to use. There are many function module available to download the file in Excel format, in text format, but this is the easiest one which I generally use to download, though it has been obsolete, but still this is very easy. You can have the many function module, you can search on the internet and you can try using that one. Okay, I will show you some of the function module. Let us first see what I'm trying to show you. GUI upload, sorry, not GUI upload, GUI download. I want to just download the file. Okay, I want to download the file from internal table to a text file. So this is my internal table, right? This is my internal table. From this internal table, I want to download the file. So GUI download we have. GUI download we have. So the file name where you want to store the file, that file name will have to give, right? That file name will have to give. So I want to store my file over here. So what's the path? I will go and check the properties, copy this one. So the path will have to give. So I have just copied this, come over here, give the path over here. Okay. And here give the name of the file. So name of the file be MB03 demo, something like that I'm giving. And the data underscore tab, here what you can pass, the IT underscore Mara. This internal table I want to download to my system. Okay, and the exceptions you can enable. So if I get any error, I will be able to understand what mistake I am doing. Okay, so this is how you can download your file. Check the syntax over here. Some problem is, see, you have put in single quote over here. I have put in single quote. Check the syntax. Now it is fine. There is no problem. You can see that there are so many parameters, right? Each and every parameter is having its own significance, but the mandatory one is this one, right, which was already enabled. That only I'm just going to pass and I'm going to download it, right? Press enter, press F8. You can see that it's trying to download the file. Okay, so I'm going to give the allow. Okay, and the file got downloaded. And here the MB03, I have given the file name MB, this one, no, MB03, this one, MB03 underscore demo. This is the file name I have given. You can go and check the properties. You can see that the current date is 14th July and the time is 8:16:19 AM. Means just now it got downloaded. Double click on this and open with Notepad. You can see that your material number and the another field mtart, right, and then this MATKL, everything is coming over here, right? So this is how you can download your file if you want to download. If you want to get it nicely formatted, the separation should be there, right? If you want to have the separated over here, right? So for that purpose, you will have to change your internal table, right? You will have to provide the space between the data, right? And then only you will be able to give the space over here. So how the data will be there in the this particular file, it all depends how the data is there in your internal table, right? So put the breakpoint over here, press F8, press F6. In IT_Mara, you can see all this data is there together, right? M8NR, MTAT, MATKL, right? So all these data are together. That's why it is coming like that. That's why it is coming like that. So press F8 once again. It will override the file. You can see the system is trying to replace the file. Okay, you replace the file. There is no problem. Run this, open this, and here our file is. If you want to put this one in the Excel and you want to analyze, you can open the Excel. Let me go to the native desktop, and here I will open an Excel. Okay, you can directly put, you can copy and paste your file over here. Okay, I'm just going to copy and paste it over here. You can see that it's the tab separated, right? You can see that it's a tab separated. You can go to the data, right? Go to the text to column, yes, and then the delimited, right? Go to the next tab separated, give the space over here, that's fine. Space, no, it's not easy to, it's not possible over here. This is not possible over here to separate, because everything is coming together. So how to make it separate? Okay, you can see that it's not the tab delimited. Tab delimited means it is not delimited with the tab separator, right? Tab delimited means if something is tab delimited, it will be easy for there in the Excel also for you to put into that separate column, right? So what I mean to say that if something is tab delimited, for example, I'm writing here field 1, give the tab space. I've given the tab space. Field 2, I'm again giving the field 3. Okay, so this is the tab separated. For this, if you want and if you try to separate this one into the Excel, it will be easy. You can see automatically it is coming to the 3 different column, right? By default. That's the beauty of Excel, right? We are able to see, but here it is not happening. So we have the option over here, whatever the file we are downloading, that should be there into the tab separated format. Okay, so I'm using the file type ASC, and I'm trying to, here you can see that the right file separator, right? Right file separator. So just try and let us see the possible option it is having. Double click over here. So right file separator, character 1, and the default is a space. Okay, if we're going to give the X over here, it is having the tab separator as tab. So give the X over here and we'll try to see now. Okay, activate it, press F8. It got, do one thing, the file was open. Let me run once again. So I will be sure that it is there in the tab separated. Okay, so now nothing was open. I can see that tab separated, with the tab separator it is coming, right? So this is how you can use there. Okay, so what you have to give, you have to give X over here. This ASC, I don't think so it is important. ASC is the file type. Even if you don't give this ASC as a file type, this tab separator should work, right? And if we're going to, let me check once, just run this. run once again, allow, Windows D, double click, notepad, and here it's coming, right? So that ASC is the file type. There are different file types. One of the file type here is the ASC. Okay. Now, if you just paste it over here, automatically it will be there in the tab separated way, right?
Sir,
So
hello,
yeah,
sir.
tell me. Yeah.
Sir, is it possible that can we download that particular file in Excel also when
Yes, yes, yes,
through
yes.
GUI?
GUI download, no. Through GUI download, it is not possible. It will be there in the text format. So there are multiple better effective function module. We will discuss that one. Okay.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah, but there is a possibility that we can download in directly Excel. That is possible. Okay, I will. What I'm trying to do over here, that first I have copied this one, copy, and I'm trying to paste it over there. Okay, but it's not coming properly. You can see that it's not coming properly. Okay, so what I will do, that if it is not coming properly, we should have some, if we are not going to download in the Excel directly, then we should have some knowledge about the Excel, that how to, because here you can see that it's creating problem. So what I will do, that manually I will copy everything over here. Suppose this much I have copied. Okay, and in Excel we want to, everything it is coming. Some problem is there. You can see that it is coming in this way. Okay, it is coming in this way. Let me do. Copy this one. We have some better function module that also we can use. Okay, MB03 demo. Go here and use as a data source from other sources, from SQL Server. No, this is not from web, from text. It will give the desktop option, and here we'll try to see if it is working or not. Okay, so select this one, open. Yeah, and here it looks that we'll be able to do so. Let me check. Go to this next tab, not a space. Yeah, and it's working fine over here. So this way we can also do, and here in the separate column it's coming, right? So a separate column here it's coming, right? Hope you understood how I have done. I have gone into this home, into this data, and then I have clicked on this from text, and the file which was there on the desktop, I have just selected that one and click on this open. Automatically it's considering. From here it's not working. When I'm copying from here and pasting over there, it's not working properly. Okay, so that is the another way we can do. There are so many function module. Okay, so here actually what I'm trying to say, that whatever you are there having in the internal table, you can download into your presentation server with the help of various function module. Okay, similarly, if you have some text file, you have a function module called GUI_upload. Okay, so this GUI_upload function module you can use for the purpose of uploading the data into the internal table. So first you will have to define the internal table, right? And then you can upload that data into the internal table. Okay, so that function module is GUI upload. One is for download and one is for upload. Okay, this is very easy to use function module, so I use this one, but this has been obsolete, so better not to use. We have many function module. For example, I will show you some of the function module. Once again, click on this pattern button here, give the Excel, okay, and download. Press F4. Here you can see that HR pop-up Excel download, some function module is coming. We can try with this, but we have just remove this download and you will get another function module as well. Okay, so Excel to internal table, this one, ALSM underscore Excel to internal table. So if you want to upload something from Excel and want to get convert into internal table, this one can be used. You can try with this one. Okay. So similarly, there are so many function module, FC Excel get file, LD form. Okay. One function module we are looking for to download the data directly into the Excel. I will just Google it. I don't remember right now. So I will just look into the function module to download the internal table into Excel. Function module to download the internal table into Excel in SAP ABAP. Okay, and we will get some idea that see that this SAP convert to XLS format to download the internal table to Excel file, right? Some example also you can see over there. So you can try with this particular function module. Okay, so like that you can get several function modules. So the basic idea behind this is, you know, if you want to download the data from an internal table, the SAP has provided many function module. One of the function module was GUI download, just we have seen, which has been obsolete. So you can look into some another function module. Okay, we will not go into that. We will see the file operation on application server. Okay, that is important. Other things it is easy for you to do. File operation on application server is little tricky, this particular portion. Okay, so on presentation server it's very easy, but for on application server, what actually you have here, what you will have to do, either you are going to write the file or you are going to read the file, right? Either you are going to write the file or you are going to read the file. So if you want to write the file on application server, you will have to use some particular syntax. Okay, you'll have to use some particular syntax. So we'll see what are the syntax we can use and how it's going to do the benefit for us, how we can achieve that one. Okay, so one is to write. Write means nothing but upload. Write means nothing but upload. Okay, write on application server. On presentation server it's very easy, but on application server it's little tricky, not very tough. Read on application server. Okay, read on application server. So writing the file on application server operation is known as the output operation. Very important. You'll have to remember this one. Okay, reading the file on application server, writing the file on application server is known as the output operation. Very, very important. You'll have to remember. Okay, sorry, I want to color it in some different color. Output operation. And here, reading the file on application server, this is known as the input operation. This is known as the input operation. Okay, if you want to write some file on application server, you will have to use the transfer keyword. You'll have to use the keyword transfer. Okay, you'll have to use the keyword transfer over here. This output and transfer. Here, if you want to read some file, in that case, you will have to, this particular, for reading that one, we'll have to use, I think, it's read only. Read operation directly we'll have to use. Okay, directly we'll have to use the read operation. So here for writing, you have the transfer. here we'll have to use the read operation. We will see this one. Using the read operation, we can read the data. Okay. Now there are different modes in which you can write the file and you can read the file. Okay. We can use the by default mode, that is the text mode. Okay. Text mode, binary mode, and the different modes are there. Generally we use the default mode. Okay. So for example, we'll write a small program in order to understand, okay, how it's going to work. Fine. So let's go and write a program. Suppose if I want to write the data on application server. Okay. Suppose if I want to write the data on application server, if I want to write some file, means if I want to write some data on application server, for that purpose write data write content on application server. Just a second. Write content on application server. Okay. Executable program, click this save button. Local object, come over here, and first I would like to get some data, right? I would like to get some data. So for example, I'm going to use select Matner, right? mtart and mtk or maybe mbrsh into table @data it underscore mara. The inline declaration we are just going to use. Comma you'll have to give. We are going to, if we're going to use the new syntax, we'll have to give the comma. This we know, right? This internal table file will have to write on the application server. What's the name of my application server? Okay. You can go to SM51. You can see the name of the application server. This is the name of the application server. There are various ways to see the name of the application server. Okay. There are many ways to see the name of the application server. One is the SM51. You can go and you can check here the name of the application server. Here on the server you are going to write the file. Once you write the file, where you can go and check that your file content is written or not. For that purpose, SAP has given the transaction called AL11. Very, very important transaction. Please remember this. AL11. What is the name of the transaction? AL11. The name of the transaction is AL11. This is a very important transaction. You must have to remember. Okay. You must have to remember this AL11 so that you can see that if some file has been written over there or not successfully or perfectly it is written there or not. So AL11 is the name of the transaction. Just remember this. It's important transaction AL11. Here you come and you can see that so many directories are already there. This is the name of the directory. This is the name of the directory. And here the directory path you have, right? So all the directory path is going to start with /usr like that. You can see the many paths already there. So SAP has been using all these things for their own purpose. For ours, this is the path dot. This is the dot directory where you can see that SAP users it is written. So I'm the SAP user. For me, SAP also can use this one. There is no problem. Okay, but generally whatever we are going to write, that is going to be written in this particular location. If you double click over here, you can see that all people who has written the file, they are able to see their file over here. Okay, so whatever the file we are going to create, we will come and we'll double click over here and we will see if our file is existing over here or not. Okay, so how to write the file? Okay, so how to write the file? File means how to write the file means file content. Okay, how to write the file content, on application server, right? Writing the file, we just came to know that this is known as the output operation. Very, very important. This is known as output operation. So you have this it_mara, the data is available in this it_mara, and you want to write the file on the application server. For this purpose, what you will have to do to write anything, suppose you have a notebook, and if you want to write anything over there in the notebook, first you will have to open the notebook, right? First you will have to open the notebook. You are a human being, you know that you are opening your file to write something, right, or to read something, but here in the system does not know implicitly that for what purpose you are going to open this file. So you'll have to tell to the system, you'll have to tell to the application server that, hey application server, I'm opening you for the purpose of writing the content. So you'll have to provide a syntax. Syntax for that is open dataset, okay, and the name of the file actually you'll have to give, okay, the name of the file you will have to give. So let me first give the syntax over here. So the open dataset, this is the name of the file, okay, for which particular purpose you want to do. So for output, because I have to write it, and writing operation is identified with output, so I'm going to write output. In default mode is the text mode. If you don't give any mode or something like that, automatically it is going to come into the text mode. Explicitly I'm just going to give. There is also encoding mode like code page and all is there. You have to just give encoding default. Okay, this much things you will have to write. At least if you don't want to write this much, you will have to write this open dataset file for output. Okay, open dataset file for output. This much at least you will have to write. So once you give this command, system understand that you want to write some content into the application server. Okay, now go to the next line, and here this is the name of your file. What you want to put the name for your file. Okay, so this will be of a string or character data type. Okay, this you can keep as a string or a character data type. There is no problem. Okay, so I'm just going to give the name as something, for example, test, or maybe so parameters. Data also we can use this file name. Getting some lagging, just a second. File. Are you able to hear me properly? Here I'm facing some internet issue. I'm not sure if you are able to hear me properly.
Some voice break is there.
Sometimes
Okay.
voice breaking and screen is also.
Okay. Because of the internet issue. Okay, because of the internet issue it's happening. Let me do one thing. However, the time is almost. Let me be little. It's very, very slow. I don't know. Parameters file type a string will have to give, and the default value we can give something, some value like default, some MB03 test. It's not working properly, some problem is there from my side with respect to internet. Just a second. I'm connected with broadband now. If problem is there. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, able to hear. Can
Yeah,
Yeah.
some
Screen it is not.
from my side. Yeah, yes. A screen again. I'm sharing. Just give me a moment. So I think let's stop over here. Maybe. Okay. Or let me try to finish at least if I can finish this part again. Everything. Let me first check if it is working fine or not.
Sir, GoToMeeting is a very good tool, sir.
Go to meeting is good one, na?
Yeah, very no,
Yes.
clear voice, screen is good, everything is good.
In go to meeting, right? Here, lagging is also here, right? Lagging.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes we face
Sometimes
different kind of
blur.
issue.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I will get that one. That go to meeting or Zoom is also good, right? Zoom.
Yeah, Zoom is also good, sir. We are using in the
Zoom
office
is
also
also
Zoom, sir.
Zoom, na? In office.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Right. Yeah. Here, uh, here's problem is there. I also feel we will get that one. That go to meeting or Zoom. Zoom, I think Zoom is better. There's other features is also okay. So let me check that that one. I will get that. I will see someone or two more classes. If it, let's stop over here. Tomorrow we'll continue with this particular. Today I feel the more problem we face due to at the end due to the internet connection. Okay, because now it seems it's okay. Okay, so
Hello?
yeah, hello. Hello.
Yeah, I can able to hear you.
Okay, Madhu. Then let's meet tomorrow. Bye,
Yeah,
everyone.
sure.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you. Bye.